Every simple 15-degree adjustment to your life strikes an existential chord. Each simple thing that makes up the life that you want will make you face the horrors of your mortality to get it. What's up, family? Welcome back to the Stop Sinking Show, where we go from struggle to flow. They say all ambition and no action is the recipe for anxiety. Action is what separates a person who has aspiration from the one that acquires what he desires. All of us want more for our lives. I doubt you will talk to many people who will admit that they are content and happy with where they are. And even if they say it, they will rarely turn down the opportunity for having more if you gave them the option, which tells you, no matter what they say, they would behave as if they want more. Most of the times, we just have inadequacies of many kinds that become impediments to our goals. And it becomes easier to adjust the goal than to address the inadequacy. But in that scenario, at least it's somewhat obvious to you that it's a knowledge gap or a skill gap or a resources gap. The reason I wanted to make this episode, though, was to talk about what really stands as an impediment, as an obstacle that is not as easily detectable. It's not as obvious as your lack of knowledge. It's not exactly a mystery either, though. It's hiding in plain sight in everything that you do. Your routine, your behaviors, your habits, your tendencies, literally how you spend your time. What became painfully obvious to me is that the thing holding me away from the life that I want is quite literally the life that I currently have, and how incompatible those two lives are. I know this is something that we might have heard before. You're going to have to give up the life that you have for the life that you want and all that jazz. But I think we don't realize how literal this is. I don't think many of us have spent that much time thinking about where this shows up, this principle. If you think about the components of the life that you want, it could be anything. The way you wake up, where you wake up, what you do, who you spend time with, what you do on your free time, your hobbies, the things you enjoy, the things you eat. Every bit of what makes up that life, the tallest wall to climb over so that you can live that life is the current life that you are so used to living, where you are so used to waking up, the things you are so used to doing, the people you are so used to seeing, the conversations you are so used to having, the thoughts you are so used to thinking, the diet you expect to have, the things you expect and are used to consuming. Every bit of it is resistance, quite literally. If I want to do something different tomorrow that is totally different or closer toward the imagined version of me, there will be so much resistance posed by the usual, by the things I am accustomed to. It will be less likely that I sit at my desk tomorrow and don't do the same things that I'm used to doing. The distractions I'm used to pursuing, they almost go on autopilot. If you are so used to eating and watching something, just try making that change and see how difficult it is instead to read or really to pay attention to your food and chew and be with yourself in silence. It's not impossible, obviously, to make these changes, but it is a wall to climb for sure because it makes it less likely. Those are the things that stand in the way of the life that you want, the life that you live today, how you live it, and how used to it that you are in living it. Because chances are you have gotten so used to getting what you expect to get in that routine that you almost have to go away on vacation to break the routine, change your environment completely. And yet you maintain images and visions about a future that is so different and distant from the one that you have today, not realizing you have to pick away at every one of your habits, every one of your tendencies, every one of your coping mechanisms, every one of your comforts. And it's not that you won't build new habits and tendencies and still have comforts, but you have to trade up and up towards the life that you want, towards the person you want to be. Just one habit at a time. Just think practically about this for a second. If you want to wake up earlier every day, even if it's 15 minutes or a half an hour earlier, your biggest challenge will come from the fact that you are so used to waking up at that time because you went to sleep at a certain time that you are so used to sleeping at. Almost as if your whole life is built around these things we grow to expect. So that 15-minute difference isn't as simple as a 15-minute difference that you can just take casually and pick up tips and tricks and motivation from your favorite influencers touting their morning routines. Those 15 minutes are your entire life. They represent all the ingrained habits, all the momentum built up from years of being who you are. And to change that is like changing your entire life. And that's just 15 minutes. Try adding anything new or different to what you expect from yourself. If you want to start a new hobby or a new business or a new exercise regimen, if it was just as simple as showing up to the gym or picking up the instrument or starting to move forward towards the business the next day, if it was just that simple, why wouldn't we all be fit, rich, and talented? The irony is that actually it is just that simple, but we like to overcomplicate things because we are emotional beings. And it's not the simplicity that becomes difficult. It's the layers of unearthed insecurities, expectations, fears, hopes, and dreams all hidden under that simplicity. And just approaching something as simple as a new diet or a new workout program or simply making sales calls, or doing anything new, it shakes up all these sleeping dragons inside of you that have been repressed and never felt. It brings up all the expectations you have of yourself that you fell short of. It makes you face how long you have had these expectations and done nothing about them, and how that adds on to the emotions and weighs down your hopes and dreams and brings up remorse and guilt and deep fears that you have missed out an inch closer towards death. Every simple 15-degree adjustment to your life strikes an existential chord. Each simple thing that makes up the life that you want will make you face the horrors of your mortality to get it. And so what you can take away from this is to begin with the adjustments in any and every area as quickly as possible so that you can disrupt the current momentum. I've also found that you have to leave room for the spontaneous eruption of momentum. That means you can't be too committed or too deeply ingrained in any activity for too long. To have and introduce variety as a habit itself, to allow yourself to experience the novel and to expect it and to seek it actively so that you are less likely to get stuck in your ways, so to speak. Of course, that poses its own risk. Speaking as someone who has shunned the idea of routines my whole life, it poses the risk that you may always seek new and different and may never seem to be able to fall into a routine. But maybe the imagined version of the life that you want matches the level of variety that you desire. I'm not telling you what your life should look like. All I'm saying is, look around and ask yourself, in every small increment, how is this holding you back from that? How likely am I to wake up tomorrow and actually do the thing I always said I would do? And if you are honest, you will find yourself gravitating towards the things that you usually do. And without the effort and action towards the life that you want, and more accumulation of actions supporting the life you currently have, how can you expect that life? You can't. Those are two different initiatives, two different paths of life, totally incompatible. I love you, family. Stay true always. I see you on the next show.